old friend of
Hello,
mine.
everybody.
As a matter of fact, he was the preacher at my wedding in 2007 and did a
That's
great job.
crazy.
A lot of old people, though, I found out years later that a lot of old people, though, didn't really appreciate it. The older boomers, not me, boomer. Are you a boomer?
No, yeah. But you were like, you said, hey, be as dirty as you want. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I get up there and I'm like, oh, wait, it is a wedding. I was looking at people's like grandparents and shit were there. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I'd already written my script. So I was like, I can't really,
We have a whole picture.
divert.
It's on a panorama of all the guests that's taken up on a pole. And instead of bringing me joy, every time I look at it, I want to circle the people who are dead that died after my wedding. A couple friends here.
Quite a few.
This guy went on an overdose on painkillers. There's Mima. Yeah, just all of those. So Eddie's a comedian, I should tell you that, but he's also a writer, and you were writing for Tosh.0 for a long time, right?
Yeah, for the entirety of the show, the whole 12 years that we were on, probably 13 if you count like when we were trying to figure out exactly. Comedy Central had offered Daniel a show. It was like, hey, it's going to be a show about the internet. It's going to be internet videos. Do you want to do something like that? And we're like, sure. And he was like, sure. And then he asked me if I wanted to help him kind of like, I don't know, put it together. And I was like, yeah, totally. Because I really wanted to be a writer on a show. So that was my avenue in. And now that show is COVID came and, everything kind of slowed down out here and a lot of shows got turned off. And so, last couple of years, been trying to find my way back into writing. And now I'm just helping produce the Tosh.0 podcast, which has been kind of fun. It's a different,
I didn't know the show
had different.
Yeah, I didn't know that it had been canceled. I didn't get word of that. So, but I realized that when you told me you were writing for his online show. Is that still going on?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's going on. I think we got episode 20 coming out this week. So, I hope you guys are keeping up.
Is it easier?
What's that?
Is it easier now that you don't have the man telling you what you can and can't do on the air?
I mean, I guess we're just kind of like our own. Yeah, I guess we're the man now. So we tell ourselves what we can and can't do. But we don't. It's really just we don't have a lot of rules, but we're not really trying to do anything to that would get you in trouble, really.
Right.
Risque.
Get you canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, I guess that could happen at this point. I don't really know that's. I think people have always been canceled, or there's the ability to be canceled. If you say something that people don't like, they're going to stop listening, and that's just what it used to be called. People tune you out. So,
yeah,
you just got to have good sensibilities about yourself and your audience and your page. But it is nice when you don't have anybody. When you don't have anybody overseeing everything, it is kind of nice, right?
Yeah. Speaking of which, the new overseer came to tell me the day that it kind of broke that I wasn't talking about COVID enough, and I wasn't taking it seriously. I was like, it's over in China, blah blah blah. But it's amazing how many lives that disrupted and relationships and everything. I hear stuff, people say it completely did a 180 on their lives. Was it kind of like that for you? You guys, the COVID came in and you guys were left to fly for yourself.
The show had there was like a 4-year extension kind of deal for Daniel with the show. And so, but when COVID hit, they kind of just, everything changed. There was new leadership and ownership over there for the station. I think Viacom and Paramount and whatever all that conglomerate is. And Comedy Central had new people in charge and they wanted to just go a different direction. I think they wanted to focus more on adult animation. So they engineered some kind of a deal with Daniel. And, the show was over. So I was expecting, some more years, but there wasn't. So, that was a big thing with COVID as far as like changing careers and things. But also on the other side of it, I know it was tough on kids and families and people, but we got to spend almost like a whole year with our kids, just kind of like studying from school and hanging out with them like quite a bit. There was that positive side to it,
Are
but
you saying this is a good thing?
I'm saying there were some good things from
Having
it, right?
yeah,
Not all good. Some of it was really. I mean, we had the situation. I like being around my family, so we had a good, a good hang. But if you didn't, if you were in a relationship or a family that was, not on the everybody didn't gel, then it was probably an awful 8 to 12 months to be living with each other, where you can't really get out. I
yeah. I didn't
understand that
notice.
side too.
I didn't even think about the repercussions of because I still went in every morning. We still went in every single morning of COVID, so it
Wow.
wasn't like that. But it sure had an effect on my family too, in its own sort of way.
I mean, even if
But
you
then
think
the
of like,
writer's strike.
yeah, that was like that. So everything was already kind of, gearing back up in a way, and then the writer's strike happened. So, that kind of shut everything else that was starting back up down again. And now we're emerging out of that, you know?
Well, I think somebody that I used to know and love, still love, said it best. It ain't show friends; it's show business. They don't care. In other words, the people on top don't care what you want to do or what you're going to do in the next few years. It's
Yeah. So I
it's a
guess the whole goal is always just to be like your own entity, right? Like just figure out how to do
right.
everything kind of on your own, so you don't really have to be beholden to like third parties or like multiple
I was
parties or
amazed I made
whatever.
it. I was amazed I made it
I think I lost you,
34
buddy.
years and 10
Hang on a
months.
second.
I hear you. You hear me?
1 second, buddy.
Hello.
Are you
Okay.
there?
Can you hear me though?
Okay. Yeah, for some
Yes.
reason my I don't want to say the name, but when I say it, it's one of those digital assistants. It just came on and took over all my audio.
Oh, Siri?
Yeah. So now it's going to happen to you. I don't want to say whatever I said, whatever I
Look,
mush mouthed.
look. It came up. My phone came on.
See? Yeah, I did it. My computer did. And I was like, everything just went silent.
No, it's all right. I saw you on my end at least. I could hear you and see you. What was it?
Oh,
What was I?
okay.
I was talking about the writer's strike, which I guess was a couple of years at post COVID. And
hmm
was that rough?
I mean, yeah, there was like absolutely nothing happening. So, get out there and, march around, got a lot of steps in. That was pretty good. Met some friends I
I
hadn't
got a
seen in a
question.
while. Yeah.
When you were out there on the
Question.
picket
Yeah.
line, it seemed like every day it seemed as though someone super famous would
Hello?
show up and join you. Did you see that? And how long did they really stay?
It froze. This actual recording is higher
I've
quality.
lost you.
Oh, now you're back. When we last spoke, you said, I have a question.
Now I can't. Yeah, I couldn't hear your audio there for a second. I'm trying out an online way to podcast, and I should say that because I have not had a podcast now for 7 months, 7 or 8 months, something like that. And it just got to where going somewhere and setting up equipment, I've got a studio here made from a bedroom, but
Right.
go into Austin, I didn't have a steady place, and it took a lot of work to try to get cameras up and to try to get the audio. Doing audio would be
hmm
great, but I think it's add something with video, and so I'm looking for alternatives. So we'll see how this turns out. People
It just seems
understand
like
that.
it's working good. A couple glitches.
Yeah,
Big deal, huh? We'll fix it in
yeah,
post, Dale.
right. That's because I got probably because I have YouPorn running in the background.
It's
So
eating up a lot
something
of
about it.
bandwidth. Yeah,
Oh,
that's not a good.
it's been banned here. I know
What
you don't
has?
look at porn. I know you don't look at porn, but Pornhub and X Hamster have been banned. You get online and they say you're from Texas, you can't watch this for reals.
Well, I mean,
So you
like
have to go to
I gotta tell you, they're just taking a lot of extra decisions off your plate there in Texas, aren't they? They're gonna
yeah.
decide a
They're
lot of
making me
things
into a
for you, so you
right.
can kind of
It's
like concentrate on other things,
right,
like what service do I want to go to at church,
right,
things like that.
exactly. Should I go back to the Church of Christ and do Wednesday nights? That's what I should do
Wednesday night,
instead
I
of
can't imagine. I never was. My family was never. You went on Sunday, maybe. But there was never like a Monday through Saturday option with my family. There was never like we're gonna
We had to
go
do it. We had to do it
Wednesday.
Wednesday
Mm.
and twice on Sunday morning and evening.
What was the difference? I mean, like between the
That's so
morning and the
weird.
evening. What was there? Was there?
I
Did something did things happen?
My sister
Were they
found
have?
this online and she framed it for me. That's the church I went to. That's the Church of Christ
That's
at Third
beautiful.
and Dwight in Monahans, Texas. And
That's
it's got a
is that a
little
postcard?
it's got a note of appreciation. It was sent to Mrs. Grover Horton, and it's stamped, "We were glad to have you worship with us recently," from Roy B.
Ooh.
Stevenson, Church of Christ, Third Dwight in Monahans, Texas.
I mean, I
Yeah, it
don't know
was.
if I can go to a church where the guy's name is Roy. Nah, I don't know, buddy.
It instilled in me an absolute fear of everything. It made it where being an adult has been horrible and shameful. They got me. They got me.
It's tough because I got some
Yeah.
friends that attend services, and I've gone to some of their services, and they're really good. And I see the value in like community and gathering and things like that. They're more like community kind of like directed, where they go out in the community and do nice things and things like, and but there's no like, they don't put the fear of morality into you.
Well,
Where,
that's probably why I'm agnostic. Is
well,
they were
sure. I
teaching
mean,
they
like,
were teaching one thing. They were teaching one thing, and then some men of the church found me very attractive. I don't know what's happened since
oh,
then. So,
that seems
oh
like,
man, I brought it up again. That's the number one complaint that trolls have.
well, I
So,
will say, like,
but
it's
that
a
was
good
weird you
reason
brought up
to not.
church.
That's a good reason to leave. I would say. I say you're very. It's a good decision you
I
made.
didn't
Good
get to it.
decision, Dale.
Now I've got no problem. I think there is a thing about whether it's a knitting club or a reading club. There's a thing. Even an AA meeting is something. An ensemble. What do they call that? The community. Hold on. What's it called? The congregation. The hanging
Hmm.
out with people and getting to know people and making friends with people. There
Yeah,
absolutely
I
is
mean,
something to that.
yeah. There's.
It's just
I agree. Like you want to be together, like of the loneliness, but you don't want it to. You don't want to get to know the people too well, right? I think you know
no.
what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
there's a line
But
we shouldn't, be
they
familiar
did.
with. Well, yeah.
They did. There was so
Well,
much
hopefully,
that little town. There was so much cheating going on between church members. Uh,
well,
have you seen?
there's the opposite side of getting together with the community. You're opening up more options and avenues for discrepancies.
Have you seen the movie
Discrepancies
about?
or well, discrete. I don't even know what
Have
I'm
you
saying,
seen?
but
Have you seen the movie of? I'm not going to remember the name of it or
the
the
whale.
actress or anything. No. The one where it was a small church. True story. A small small church in Texas. I want to say somewhere in the Stephenville area. And a woman just literally went up to the guy and said, "I want to have an affair with you." And he was all shucks, and they did. And the two wives got together to talk one afternoon, and the woman who was cheating on her husband and with this guy chopped the other woman up with an axe. And it's a great
Oh,
movie. It's a great
that's
story.
Footloose. Footloose.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, like
I,
that's there was foot loss really, and chopped her up with an axe. This is a true story.
True story. Yeah.
Let me see
You're
if I
going to have to
type this in.
Google it.
If I research this as we talk, is that good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
it's probably going to freeze
Texas
yeah,
movie
do it.
church chop up woman. Hang on, the police are knocking at my door.
Axe.
A killing in a small town.
That's it.
Boom. She
That may
lives
be
a stark Texas town, has her children, attends church, but something is missing. She enters into an affair with her best friend's husband. I didn't know it was a best friend situation. That's
I have no idea. Yeah.
so chopped her up with an
And
axe, huh?
I think she walked. I think she got off scot
Oh,
free
you mean
from
the
what I
lady? I was
understand.
like, the lady
I,
chopped up walked? That's amazing.
I don't mean to spoil it for you. I tell you
Oh
what, with
yeah,
all
way to
this,
go, buddy.
yeah, I'm the king of that. I have certain people that don't even let me live that down still. So I am employed, Realty Austin.
Hmm.
Dale Dudley at realtyaustin.com. I'm wide open. I have one client right now. I can help you out. This is the plug in the middle of the thing. Call me 512-923-4098 and help you out. So give me a shout. You talked about the whale. I've had all this time living kind of a different life because you're self-employed when you're a realtor. You can do whatever you want,
Yeah.
whenever you want. And I've had a lot of do whatever you want times. I've watched everything, almost
Oh
everything
yeah.
on the possible on the internet. Is there something that you've been digging?
Oh, on the internet. Like, so we just watched the series The Gentleman. I don't know if you've watched that.
Yeah, I watched it too.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
yeah. My
And that was
wife
coming
found
up.
it.
What's
It's
that?
weird. We'll sit and the wife and I will try to sit and watch something, and a lot of times it just doesn't connect for one or the other. Like I can't do the Kardashians, so I watched that. It's Guy Ritchie who directed
Hmm.
that. I hope a second season comes out.
Oh, I mean, it's so good. We yeah, like we finished. We blow through things and then we find amazing things and we watch them real fast. Like we just finished all the Fargos and did that one. We watched. You ever seen Bodyguard? It's not the movie The Bodyguard. It's called Bodyguard. It's one season. English. We watch a lot of things from England, by the way. We've noticed, like they're coming out of Great Britain or however we say it. But Peaky Blinders was kind of got us into this
Love
world of
that.
like
Yeah.
subtitles. You know, you got to because they speak very fast the English, and they get the little, and sometimes you just can't pick up on it. So
Oh, I'll
we
sit down and
subtitle a lot of those.
I'll watch a Norwegian or Finnish movie, and I keep hoping someday I'm going to learn the language from. And of course, I'm obsessed with World War II. Anything World War II, uh, I watch. Which we just rented the what is it? The Place of Interest. I can't remember what it is. It was up for Academy Award.
Oh yeah, that's Zone of
Zone of
Interest.
Interest.
I want to see
No,
that. It looks
no,
like
no, you don't.
I just watched. You know, it's a downer, huh?
Well, it's of all the Holocaust movies, it's not the one that's the downiest. I mean, not that there's good Holocaust stories, but
But it is
no,
an
I just found it.
interesting kind of like the whole thing is about the family that kind of like the guy who's assigned to like command like a camp, right? And so, but they have to live
Yeah,
next door like a normal family when he walks across, when he goes over to the, when he
right,
goes home at night.
right, and
It looks,
you never see the camp actually. I mean, you see the outside of it, but you don't see the camp itself. You see all the kids
looks
playing
heavy.
on the good. I almost said on the good side, on the evil side.
We watched the other movie that she was in, Sandra Hewler, I believe her name is, Anatomy of a Fall. I don't know if you've seen that one.
No, I
She
want
plays the
to.
wife.
Can't convince the
She plays
wife.
the wife in Zone of Interest, and man, she's really good in that too.
Well, did you
It's
like
crazy. She was in
some of the?
two movies.
Did you Did you like Holocaust? Not
Did I like
Holocaust.
the
I'm sorry.
Holocaust?
Yeah. Did you like? Aren't you one of
I would
those
say no. I'm
guys?
not a fan of it. I thought it
You
was
don't even believe it
no.
happened, right?
Oh,
No.
I believe.
Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah, I did like Oppenheimer. I felt like
Yeah.
I felt like a connection to him. Like I have those dreams as a child. I had the all that stuff going on in my head, but that's because I grew up on military bases. So I always felt like we were going to get nuked
Oh,
week to week.
so we did too. We had to do a duck and cover, which is
Yeah,
get under
and
your
we got
desk
underneath our desks like that was going to help in a nuclear
yeah,
explosion.
they'd come back and find you like those people in Pompeii, just ash
Right.
sitting there. It was just to make you feel better, when it comes. So you
Um,
don't have to look at it probably.
I was going to ask, coming off your plug earlier, I wanted to ask you, what is it like selling homes? Like it's such a big part of people's lives. This is a huge decision that people make. It's such an investment. It's like, I mean, I can't think of like a home, a college maybe. Like these are huge, crazy things. What is the one thing when let me ask you from somebody who might buy a home someday. What do you look what do I need to look for in a realtor
Well,
first? And what's the thing the realtor is going to tell you? Like, hey,
I'd say big titties is what most
big
people go
titties.
with. Big, beautiful women. There's a $45 million home with my agency, and I'm thinking, who got that, and what is her commission going to be?
Well,
So
but
no,
you could have that if I came to you and I was interested in that home and you're my realtor, then you would be in on the deal, right?
yeah, it's changing though. I mean, they're going to be able to, like on a house like that, they would probably go for 1% instead of 3 to get it sold because they're going
Which
to
it
be
used
making
to
so
be
much money
6, right?
anyway. But
That came down. Was that like
no,
that
no, it was
recent?
6. It still is. I've got a house up. I've got one house up right now. It's 6%, but you split it between the agents.
So
And there's
three
a
and
whole
three.
thing now where the buying agents should be negotiable with the homeowner. So it's it's already starting, but it's I don't think it's gonna be as bad as some people are thinking it is. So certainly hope
Mm-hmm.
not. But what you want to look for is that's why my first 10 calls on people on sellers, I had a man go with me that I
Oh
what do you
yeah,
call it?
like you're being
Uh,
trained at a restaurant, like you're shadowing
yeah,
somebody.
yeah.
Make sure you
My
can marry the
leader.
ketchups.
Yeah, but most of all, you want to. I say you want to go with somebody who seems honest and has a track record. So I've got a little bit of track record now,
Okay,
and
that
and
makes
I enjoy
sense.
it. You get to know the family. You get to. I mean, I've met some real characters. The woman I'm
Oh
helping
yeah.
now, we've this will be the 5th transaction. Long story short, she came into some West Texas oil. Uh, you
That's
know,
what I'm talking about.
yeah, she,
Texas tea.
yeah, that's right. Uh, and she she burns toast and made a giant Willie Nelson out of 200 pieces of toast, and it's absolutely amazing.
What? So she made
Yeah,
a mural out of
she made
200 pieces of burnt toast and made it into Willie Nelson.
I wish I had the picture. I've got a picture of it on my phone somewhere. I'll send it to you.
Willie Nelson mural out of burnt toast. That's kind of amazing. Where's it, how big is
Yeah,
this thing? 200 pieces of toast.
uh, it's it's a little bit bigger than the things behind me. You know, goes
So
all the way down
she
about
doesn't
that
need a
far.
massively huge room for it, but that's you got to have, she's got art, she's bringing art, so that's something she'd have to consider. Like, where am I going to put my art? Where are my toasters going to go?
Yeah, yeah. Everybody's got something. You know, need a big backyard. Um, need new appliances or whatever it's going to be. It's in
How many
so far the
doors are
art
too
of
many doors in a
the
house?
thing
Like,
that I
there's too
found
many doors.
the thing that it's been really hard learning all the laws and the paperwork.
Yeah.
It's the hardest test in Texas for licensing. It's the hardest real estate test in the country. Is
You know,
Texas.
my
There's two
my
part.
dad, when he got out of the Air Force, he got his when he lived in San Antonio still, he got his license to sell real estate. And he sold a couple, he sold one home, two homes. There's the third couple he had. He must have shown him 80 homes and they would just fight in the back of his car all the time. And he just quit. He goes, I never quit a job in my life, but today I'm quitting because I can't drive these two around one more day and hear them fight about what they're going to have for dinner.
Dude, there is a couple, and they're great. It's just that they've got some things going on physically, you know, um, like a disability, and they're great. But I took them out.
Mm.
Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong couple. It's a different couple, and I took them out to see. I'll just say I took a couple out to see houses that they wanted like a double wide, which is you don't really
Yeah.
think of that when you're thinking of a house unless you live in one and want to live in one. And
Hmm.
we went out. It was a burning hot summer, and I must have gone at least 25 times out past Bastrop into these
Oh,
little bitty towns and coves.
right.
And we came upon one trailer that everything was blacked out. There was an air conditioning unit running. It was supposed to be vacant, but there were curtains on all of the fencing, and then there was this pen where animals were kept, and we realized we had walked into a dog fighting arena,
Oh,
and
wow.
I didn't even go to the door. We didn't knock on it, but that's part of it. I mean, you're going to spend money on gas, and you're not going to always get rewarded. That has happened a couple of times.
I mean, I didn't
So
even think about the side of like when you're showing a home to people and there's somebody still occupying that home, what that's like.
yeah, they have to pack up their dogs and go out for
Yeah.
an hour and give you a few
It's got to
minutes for
you got to
nothing.
schedule. That's another level of just nonsense of scheduling the visit. I mean,
Yeah.
a new build is different. A home that hasn't been sold yet, nobody's ever lived in it. You're walking into it's empty. But man, having to
Right.
like call ahead and be like, "Hey, can you make sure you guys, put all those the scales away that you measure? Well, I don't know why they were out. I don't know what you guys are measuring. I don't know if you get that put away, I'd like to show the house to this sweet old couple that needs a ramp to get in."
Realtors will share pictures sometimes of
Oh,
houses they've tried to sell where the people refuse to even pick up their dirty clothes and things like that. I went
I
into
mean,
one of those.
honestly, Dale,
Yeah.
that and you can use this part of the podcast for yourself, but that's a good angle is you talking about like the dirty side of realty and like those photos that are saved and like people can be
Yeah.
anonymous, but the photos would be funny to see like a photo of a pile of dirty clothes and you're walking a client through and like, this is not the
Yeah.
laundry room. This is actually a formal dining room. But you just imagine if you put the washer dryer here with the big table and everybody's eating.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've
Oh,
run
it's got
into
to be such
houses
a
where they
wild
had,
world.
did I lose you again?
Oh, you're back.
I've run into
So,
houses where they have two master bedrooms, instead of just three bedrooms and things like that. But the worst is when people have tried to do their own DIY on
uh,
walls and build walls,
yeah,
and they'll frame something to make it a bedroom, but it's not a bedroom because it doesn't have a closet or a window, so you can't count that. Just got to count that as an office or something like that. I think this is boring. Me talking about
I
me.
put up a wall. I built a wall
You put up a
in our
wall.
house. Yeah, but there's
Oh,
already windows on both sides, so we have your windows and there's a closet. So, I guess I know what I'm doing.
but did you actually do it? Did you actually do it, or did you hire
No, I did
construction
all the
people?
work. Did all the work, man. Went up there. It
This
took about a week. Split a room in two because it's just a big long room. Now it's two rooms.
this is the software that I'm using online is kind of like a shortwave radio or a CB radio. We both need to say over.
That's
What do you
good.
get for
I like that.
18
That's
bucks a
not
month?
bad.
It's 18 bucks a month. And hi. Oh, nothing happened. I'm just going to edit it back together, but we lost
Yeah,
you
like
for a little while.
I mean, I
I
feel
was
like there's
talking about
better.
I was talking about Dobby. My wife made this little doll that reminded me of you because you used to do Dobby's voice whenever you would do the radio show.
Oh yeah, come on.
Hi, Bobby, happy to be on the show with Dale. Dale, free Dobby. Dale give Dobby headphones and free him from studio.
We had some fun, man. We had some fun.
Did she make a Dobby?
Yeah, I have a picture of it. She gave it to a little girl. It was a little girl's favorite character, and so she made it for her. But I was thinking before we talked over the past few weeks, how long have we known each other? Was
I
it
mean,
before 2000 or right after 2000?
I started comedy in like 94 and probably moved up to Austin around 96, 97. So yeah, before 2000.
Right. And no one gave us any grief, from up top. It was just literally, and I
Oh, yeah.
now that I'm not in it, I've learned to appreciate how lucky I was, how much fun that was to do that for for a living, all the way up to retirement age. I'm getting close,
Well,
but
I mean, honestly, back then it's like it was locally owned, right? And they knew they
right,
had a good thing with you guys, and it's just like
yeah.
why not just let you have all the leash you need to have like the best time? Just you guys were having a great time in the morning, and everybody wanted to be part of it. So it's like there were no
I,
rules
I
to a
was
great time.
I was always called a Howard Stern wannabe, and that's absolutely true. But I never thought I'd actually pull it off if I didn't have the guys we had going all the way back to Yeti. Were you
No,
ever around
yeah.
when Yeti was a producer?
Jeff, yeah. Me
Yeah,
and Yeti hung out quite a bit, man. We used to, Yeti was he would always get me like, I would always hit the prize closet, for like
yeah, yeah.
CDs and stuff. And I remember just like, he had such a good stereo in his car. And I had a good one in my car. And we would just like, we played a lot of Limp Bizkit back in the day, really loud.
Eddie Pass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You froze there for a second. I thought I was giving somebody a lot of bad news, and it was bad news. He's a good guy,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I used to walk out going, how could this be any better? Because everybody was so on, Bob, Charlie, Angela, all the way up to then Matt. And it just seemed to work. We were able to pick great sidekicks, I think, was part of it, and great producers.
Oh, yeah. When I came in there, it was Yeti was the producer. It was you, Bob, and Deborah.
Yeah, Deborah was great too.
That's when I rolled into it. And it was fun. It was always fun to come on. You guys were always really good with the local comics because, like, it was such a, when you start comedy, there's such an emphasis on headliners, national touring headliners. But Austin was a place where, and your show specifically, where you guys treated the locals like that's where it's at. You know, like these are the guys that are like living here. They're super funny. We're going to give them an opportunity to come on and kind of promote themselves. So that was always a wonderful thing you guys did for local comics.
We took you to Hawaii too.
Went to Hawaii. Me and Megan did a cruise with you guys. You know, when Don was booking those the big cruises for the like 300 people from KLBJ would go on a cruise, and it was like, you know, you do one show and then you're just on the cruise for 6 more days. Just at sea.
Yeah, they were fun. The last one was the last one we went to Europe, but I don't think we brought any comics on that one. That was one that people just buy into. And Don's retired. I hope he was ill. I haven't heard anything recently, but I talked to him. He called me on the day I got uncontracted, let's say. Yeah. They didn't renew my contract. So that was good talking to him. Don from the travel agency.
Paradise Travel.
Paradise Vacation and Travel. Yes.
Oh, Vacation and Travel. Yeah.
Did you, have you been keeping your toe in stand up because now you're doing it again? Part of your reason for being here is you're going to be in town, I believe, next week or something.
Yeah, I'll be April 10th. I'll be at Capital City Comedy Club in the new location. 8 p.m. show, everybody. One show. I'm flying in Wednesday and flying out Thursday because I got to get back.
Why
here
just
for
one show?
Just because I had like a Wednesday night and I can only really go out. I can't go out like early in the week for the whole week because I have some responsibilities here in town, you know, not a ton, but some. And then weekends, I can do weekends and stuff like that. So I am still doing some stand up at clubs that'll, when I have breaks in my schedule. I think COVID, you know, so the writer's strike kind of got me back into like touring a little bit more on my own. I opened for Daniel on his tours, which is a fantastic way to do stand up. Couldn't be any more convenient for myself, where I get to fly out of LA with him and then we do the shows and then we come back and it's easy and his crowds are, you know, great.
Does he sit in first class and then you get to ride in the coach, or does he?
Well, there's not even, no, it's our own plane. So it's way better.
For real?
Oh yeah, no, it's great. We should fly to the place, and if it's a proper tour, get off the plane, take the bus for like 10 days, and then fly back. I mean, that's
but amazing. He doesn't own the jet, does he?
No, I think they just you know, you just kind of charter the jet, charter the buses, come back, and then you know, you do it again.
It's the one thing I've never done is fly private. I've been in a biplane from the people who did what was it? The pizza, the pizza. What is it?
Pizza?
Red Baron's Pizza took us up and I'll never forget him going, Mr. Dudley, would you like to do some aeronautics now? And just go straight up and then stall and dive back down.
Did you say yes?
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. I was adventurous.
But I
got to ride in the bottom of a B-17 coming from San Antonio to Austin.
Oh, that's amazing. Cool. Yeah, that's amazing.
Hot air balloons. The station used to have their own hot air balloon when I first got started.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say that seems like an expense that didn't need to happen, and you probably could have hired 4 more traffic people.
Yeah, but they
you know what? If I had a hot air balloon, if I own a station, I own a hot air balloon. The traffic guy every morning is getting in, he's filling it with hot air, and he's flying over the Mopac, and he's like, "All right, look, everything seems to. I can't really gauge because I can't control my height, but my altitude seems to be up. But it looks okay out there, everybody."
We're about to have
I
a hard
believe
landing in Zilker Park.
the winds have pushed me to Bastrop, so I'm going to a local affiliate there now and letting them know that there's completely wide open
It,
streets here in Bastrop.
the station didn't own it. This private guy owned it, but he would put our banner all over it, so it looked
Mm-hmm.
like the KLBJ balloon. What else? I've jumped out of an airplane twice myself, skydiving. But now at my age, with my my knees, I won't go I can't go bowling. I can't do anything, man.
Where you can't bowl?
Well, I got no cartilage underneath my kneecaps.
Okay.
I know that sounds funny.
No, it hurts.
And you're
right?
gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh, but a lot of that is from
know.
my flag football career.
Yeah,
So.
no, I saw you in the Flag Football Hall of Fame. It's amazing.
That was terrible.
Flag football. What do you mean terrible? How long did you play?
We had a team from age 28, and I think my last game I tried to play, I was 41. So
did you throw somebody your jersey? So like,
20
I'm
years,
over.
buddy.
I'm done, kid.
Yeah,
this is yours now.
That's it.
What position did you play?
I remember always linebacker because I'm 6'5", and I could occasionally tip the ball or intercept the ball. But
and you
the
seem
day
like
I
you
quit,
got crazy reach to like grab those flags.
Maybe an interception per season, maybe if I was lucky. But I quit because one day Amanda was there. Jacob, he was a baby. By the way, he's 17 now, about to turn 18.
And
I'll never forget, one guy on the other team was yelling at the other guy on the other team, going, "You need to get around there faster." And he goes, "What? Why? Have you seen this guy? He can't even move." And I said, hey, my feelings are hurt. But I never played
right here,
that.
man. My
Right
family's
here.
in the stands. Can you not? Were there stands? Yeah. There had to be some bleachers.
No, there are people standing on the sidelines, and it's usually other players and your family members.
And it's like 105.
Do you remember all the prank calls we did?
Oh yeah, those were fun. That was like another thing too. There's no like I don't remember them ever being like. It seemed like there's no rules with your show. We could just do things.
There was no political correctness either.
Yeah, you could just be funny to be funny. You look back and there's things that I used to say and do that I completely wouldn't do today because I didn't at the time understand. My sensitivities were just different. But it was what it was back. It's easier it's easier for me to say that, but at the same time, it's like it just seemed like your place was like spring break every time you came in. It's like, hey, what do you want to do? Oh, do you want to go down and pillow fight people downtown? I'm like, sure, I'll go pillow fight people.
Oh, you did that, right?
Yeah, pillow fight club.
And we had a real videotape, probably.
Yeah, there's like the whole. I think Bob made a whole like documentary about pillow fight club, and then I went down to some part of downtown, and listeners showed up with pillows, and I would fight them on their way to work. They're like, I just stop in real quick. Smack me. We have a little pillow fight a couple times, and then they get back in the car and be like, "All right, man, love to listen to you on the show." Jump back and go to their job.
No meaning whatsoever. No great outcomes. Not doing anything for children. Just out. Oh yeah, I've met the kids that were born when we used to do the tents outside. Remember, we would set up tents for couples, and the first one to have a baby won a bunch of prizes. I forgot what it's called.
I don't remember that one. I remember Mr. Puniverse. That was a fun one.
Yeah,
there was like
we did that a lot.
You guys had all kind of. That's the one thing is like you guys were always like you always had a really good idea, like a good theme, like something that was just silly and funny. And, yeah, you just made it into like a fun thing, a fun happening.
I almost got beat up one night during that thing. I had a husband come after me right as I got off the stage.
Off the pregnant bikini contest?
Yeah, he was going to kick my ass. But luckily, that magic arm of his girlfriend, which is probably as skinny as mine, he couldn't get past that magical arm to get to me. I think I'd do that if I started a fight, too. I would just stay with all the hands trying to hold me, even if I could break free. It's a way to keep yourself from getting hurt. But I'll never forget that.
It's the magical arm of the mother of his child. You can't break through that. You can't break that bond.
Right. So do you have any of your old stuff in your current act, or just had to do totally
Um,
renew?
God, I hope not. But I mean, I sometimes I'll go like places and people are like, hey, I really want to hear this joke, so I'll put it in there. I'm not afraid to. I got to relearn it sometimes because sometimes I'm like, sometimes I don't remember I had that bit, and then I go back and I listen to some old. I'm like, okay, I do remember that bit. So, but I think everything you're going to find in my show Wednesday, the 10th of April, will be somewhat new, unless you've seen me recently on tour or in Vegas or someplace like that. Should be
Over,
pretty good. What's that?
over. I was about to talk. And how is Megan? Is she doing stand up? Your wife is Megan Mooney.
Yeah. Yeah, she does it here in town more than on the road over at the Comedy and Magic Club here in Hermosa Beach, California.
Who was the club, or what was the club you were signing their wall the other day when I saw a clip you'd posted?
Oh yeah, that was Comedy and Magic over there in right over here in Hermosa Beach, pretty close to the house. I guess I'd never signed the wall. Even though I've lived here for like 20 years, just never. No, I've never got around to it.
Do you ever go and do a set like at downtown LA or move
So
around? I know Kevin does that.
the only place I'll do them is like over probably the Improv would be the spot that I would go. In this year I've done one set there, but I don't go down there a lot. When I'm home, I don't like to go do comedy at night in town. You know, kind of like to. I mean, Comedy Magic's easy because it's very close to my house, so I can just ride my bike over there sometimes.
How's the weed going? You smoking the weed?
Nope, not smoking the weed. I'm a Pinot Noir guy on the weekends. Little red wine.
One glass or two.
Maybe I'll have a couple glasses. Maybe I'll mix an IPA into there. I like to keep the alcohol percentage level of the IPA under 5%.
There's this place we go to where I live up in Leander, Cedar Park, and it's called The Good Lot, and it's basically a brewery with a lot of outdoor space for your family. They're very nice up there. And I'm not a beer drinker, so every time I go, I have to ask the lady, I said, which beer has the highest alcohol content? And it changes from week to week. I got a 10 the other day. The most I'd ever had was a 9. This was 10.
They've got it's always those triple IPAs or those stouts or whatever. They'll be like 13.3%. It's like, have this one. But it's so like, it's so much. I don't know that maybe the taste is even more crazy. Some of them are just so piney, and I used to, my buddy owned a brewery out here for like quite a while. Talk about COVID, close that up. But Strand Brewing out here, and it was like I learned so much about beer in the process of doing it. And like your friends up there north, was it north of Austin? Congrats.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough business because
it's
just watching
packed.
him coming up, they had a huge spot too, and coming up with new beers. And the biggest thing he said with beer was the consistency. Budweiser tastes like Budweiser no matter where you go, and that's quite an attribute to like the people that brew it. You can't taste slightly different at all because people will know.
Yeah, this place they're killing it because they went with a family angle. Like
I like it. Yeah.
There's the main part, and there's this giant yard with picnic tables and that sort of thing.
You know what I would do?
It's dog friendly.
Oh, like every place is dog friendly. You get me a meeting with these people. I got an idea for them. It's family friendly. You got your dogs. The parents are having the beers, and then about 9:00, in come the clowns. Right? Everybody's a little sauced, and you get these clowns coming in from the woods. I imagine there's woods. If you saw clowns coming in out of the woods into the brewery, I don't know. I don't know what you remember. Clown Town. I like that story you had.
Oh yeah, Clown Town.
Oh, I love that story. Me and Megan tell that story at least once a year to each other. You guys hanging out with a couple ladies, you and your friend, picking them up, and the one lady's like, "I got to go pick up my kids."
No. Oh yeah, you're right.
No, go ahead. You tell it. It's great.
It was funny. I was dating a woman who later accused me of, she was dating 2 other dudes beside me. One and the other dude pulled a gun on the other dude. Luckily, I was not in the crossfire of that. This was a really nutty woman who.
That's like that Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other.
as I'm dating her, I really liked her, and I realized that she's out every night, almost every night. So I'm with my buddy Mark, and we had gone out on the town, and he was with a date, and she was with a date, and it was literally 2 o'clock in the morning, right as the bars close. All these cars pull up, and it's all mostly hot-looking women. Just have to say it, and they're pulling their kids, but their kids aren't like infants or anything like that. There's kids that are 4 feet tall, and their legs are dangling near the ground. And I didn't even think about it. Years later, I complained about them, but I didn't even think about what was going on. I didn't know the word family or anything like that. And my buddy Mark, who had lived in Oklahoma City, just from the back of the car, he goes, "Oh man, this is Clown Town." And I go, "What is Clown Town?" He goes, It's an overnight daycare for strippers up in Oklahoma City. This is Clown Town." And then right at that moment, man, I was like, "Oh God, what are we doing? I'm part of something horrible here." I know people. I know people have to work, but I think a lot of it, 99% of it, was people who went to party and stayed out till 2 a.m. to pick up their kid.
Clown Town. To me, that was like, oh man, this is Clown Town. I can't imagine a worse name for a child care place if it was a real place. You can take your kids, bring them on over to Clown Town. Like, I'm okay, I'm good. They're going to learn how to work with me.
Kids don't like clowns, usually.
No, nobody likes. I mean, here's my problem with clowns. I've got a few problems, but my biggest problem is I don't think they need the word clown at the end of their name. It's like, I'm Bozo the clown. Like, no, we know you're a clown. You look like a clown. I'd be confused if you were something else. You could just be Bozo.
Bozo was always frightening to me.
Cookie seemed like you could talk to Cookie. Cookie would help you out. Bozo. When Bozo came in angry, you could talk to Cookie's sidekick. I think he had a flower pot on his head. That's another thing. I don't understand the wardrobe person who first came up with clown outfits. It's like the shoes, they're the big fat wide tie, nothing fits. The pants are like super big, the pantalones. But the flower pot on a head, that's a hat? No, I don't think so.
Man, you remind me of Kevin a lot of times. Kevin Nealon, he'll be talking to you in a normal thing, and you think he's being very serious until you get to the very end, and you realize
Kevin is like, when I was
usually working out bits.
Kevin is like one of the comics I remember watching on TV that I was like, he does such a good job of just being the straight man. And then you realize this entire time, I appreciate wasting people's time. And then all of a sudden they realize they've been duped and it's just been a joke the whole time. And he's just so funny. Like he's kind of a perfect person as far as like when it comes to comedy and probably in general. He's a great artist too.
Oh, incredible artist. I mean, incredible.
Yeah.
He did a big coffee table book of celebrities and gave me one. He was excellent. He said he gave me the first copy fresh off the presses. I'm sure he was lying, but he's just a kind dude. You made me remember something.
He'll ever work in the medium of burnt toast?
You know what? I may not even play that part of the podcast. If I can't put them both together, I'm just going to play this one. It's going to be a 21-minute podcast. That's a reference from earlier.
But I said I cut you off. You said I reminded you of something talking about Kevin, an artist.
No, I forgot. Admiral Foghorn. You were talking about Bozo. When I lived in West Texas, a little town called Monahans, Odessa was the big city. Odessa and Midland. That's where you went to get your school clothes every year. You'd go to what was it called? Can't remember now the name of the department
Academy.
Store. I got to be on a kids TV show when I was about 4 years old. It was called Admiral Foghorn, and it was just a dude that would wear a Navy suit, and there were props that looked like ships, and all I can remember from that there was an artist on there named Roscoe, and Roscoe would start the show starting to paint something. And I'll never forget it. As I left the show, the time I went, Roscoe gave me a painting, a picture, a drawing of something he'd done
from that episode.
Foghorn. Yeah, there was a time I was on the air and I went and researched it and looked it up. This is the early days of the internet, and I found out, who was still, and we did an interview with. That's right. I got to interview Admiral Foghorn. That's
Oh
one
my
I forget a
gosh.
lot. Yeah.
Was
And
was he in the captain's chambers, like the Captain Clown quarters?
yeah, and there may have been a clown, and then there was some pretty lady that we interviewed who was a news. She was also on the news. So anyway, thanks for making me
Wait, so Admiral
remember.
Foghorn wasn't a clown? He was just an admiral.
No, he was not a clown. He was an admiral.
Mm-hmm.
He was an admiral.
And he had a show.
So, and he had a show. He wasn't
And
a
this
real
was in
admiral. He wasn't
landlocked
Odessa.
Midland, Texas. Odessa.
Odessa. Yeah.
Why
we
would
weren't
he
fancy
be?
enough.
Why would you have an admiral in Odessa? This seems like Gulfport, or like you want to be on the sea. You're an admiral.
Well, he was, but it was, when the Permian Basin still had water and he got landlocked, he crashed
retired.
or something like that.
Then
No
he was just
plug
like, yeah, Waterloo. That's I like sparkling water, and that's one of my go-tos.
Good. I have a little tiny bit of Waterloo stock. So I'm plugging it again. So
Yeah,
drink
you
Waterloo.
should.
And drink
You got lemon lime there?
Lemon lime. And then over here, I thought I made two. We got summer berry. There's about 20 of the flavors. Summer
20
berry.
flavors. That's amazing. Look at them. Look at them at Waterloo figuring it out.
Yeah, my other investment that I did was Mighty Swell cocktails. And then they changed to Mighty Swell spritzers. And, that one, I didn't put a little bit in. I put in a lot. And I just got the letter this fall that everything is about to be liquidated and you won't get any money. That's what they basically said. They tried really hard. That market was incredible tough.
Oh, yeah. It blew up fast, right? Like, can you get equipment? That's what I always want. Like, I know I've lost my money, but I want some of the stuff.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
fun.
I want the old hot air balloon that says KLBJ on it.
There you go.
I want the basket. Give me the basket.
All right. Well, I think of you often.
I think of you too, buddy. I'm glad you're back on doing this. You should do it. You said it's been 7 months, but maybe you should do this more often.
I'm going to. I mean, I think I put to a direct internet when the people don't know, but this crashed. And it's been fine this second go round. So
you plugged right in Ethernet cable.
Yeah, I did a direct plug, so maybe it was on my side. So
well,
again,
I switched over to, so who knows?
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I have like I have a normal Wi-Fi router, and then I have like that mesh system where you put up another. So I just got off the mesh and went to this one because everybody else is on the mesh in the house, and who knows what they're watching in there. All the computer gaming systems have been activated because it's afternoon here. Everybody's playing 2K and 4K and whatever. They're all playing video games.
What are you playing?
I play on my phone. I play Retro Bowl.
Oh, Retro Bowl.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
Retro Bowl.
Retro Bowl. Yeah, it's kind of like it's fun. You get that app. You tell me. I've coached 117 season in the pros. Now I'm over in college because I came out with a college one. I had to work at Boston College for a little bit before Nebraska offered me a head coaching spot, and I took it. And I'm on my 4th season of undefeated right now. It took a little bit.
On Retro
you don't get the
Bowl.
recruits you want right away.
So
I've recruited well. Yeah,
I think I'll
now my
stick to
Huskers are about to win their 4th title, 4 undefeated seasons. I'm gonna have a freshman there that's never lost a game. God damn it!
I think of you during football season. Then the Nebraska score comes across. I think
there
about
it is,
you.
right there, buddy.
Did you just
that
fart?
Big old red flag, big red.
Oh,
Gator Den.
I swear to God, I heard a fart before that.
No, that's my chair.
Okay,
it's collapsing.
Would have been better to fart
when I shift this way.
How much pain have you been in over in Nebraska?
I mean, it's been rough. It's ever since Bill Callahan took over that program. It's been quite the steady dissension. And Scott Frost was there. God bless him. Lost a lot of games by 3 points or less. But Matt Rule moves into that position, and his first season, a lot of close losses also. I'm gonna give Matt a few more seasons to get it together. stop taking the kids out to the WWE SmackDown and maybe get them in the room to look at some tape. That's what we're going to do.
All right, buddy. Listen, is it Wednesday night?
Wednesday night, April
Wednesday
10th,
night.
8 p.m.
So I got to get this thing up quick for you.
Well, you get this up.
At 10 p.m., huh?
You polish this bad boy up and you make me look good, Daddy. You make me look
10?
pretty, Daddy.
Why 10? I want to come see
The
you.
April 10th? No, April 10th, 8 p.m.
Oh, 8 p.m. I'm sorry.
On the 10th.
It was a 10. All right. You may see me.
Oh, good. I hope to see you.
Okay.
Bring the family. Bring the family.
Love you, man.
Love you too, buddy.
Let's do it again without all the interruptions.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Take care.
Bye, bud.